After 15 years, we are finally seeing the 4Runner enter its 6th generation. Now, it does still use the Tacoma as a base, so you're getting the same powertrain and everything like that, but the 4Runner is finally getting a facelift, both visually on the outside and on the inside. So let's dive in. Starting off in the front, you can see we've got a completely redesigned grille. Very nice, large Toyota emblem, front and center. You do also get a front camera now as well. You got a functional top end for your grille, a functional bottom end for your grille. You've also got a couple high beam lights at the bottom and a nice lip as well for ground clearance. It's very nice. Now, underneath the grille, we do have 4Runner. I would be removing that, but hidden within that lip, you have 2 tow hooks on both sides, so great to see that. Also redesigned are the headlights. So we've got dual headlamp so we have dual LED headlamps on both sides. Nice diffuser right there, daytime running light. Overall, I really dig the front end of this 2025 4Runner. Moving along to the side, we do have 20-inch wheels on the brand new 2025 4Runner. Overall, they look about the same as they used to, so I like them. The stock 4Runner wheels, nothing to complain about. We do now have 360 cameras though on the 4Runner, so you can see that we've got the piano black on the top end with your lane departure warning, camera on the bottom, as well as lane departure assistance on the mirror itself. Now, instead of paint to match door handles, we do actually have those mirror black handles. No complaints there. It looks nice with the gray, especially on this colorway. Also, on the 2025 4Runner, we do have an automatic step that is not currently coming down, but that's nice, like the ones that are automatic. Coming back further, the 4Runner actually has them wide hips like it always has. Looks really good. The nice quarter panel window in the back, and of course, wouldn't be a 4Runner if it didn't have the roll down window in the rear. But on the rear, we do actually have 2 cameras. So we have our backup camera and another camera there as well. Definitely a different rear end with this textured section where it says Toyota. Overall, in the back, it looks a lot like it always has. But in the rear here, we do have a nice large flat surface where we can also fold down the seats and get even more space. We do have a 120 volt outlet there with 3 prongs, so that's nice. Now, the 2025 4Runner is actually available in 2 different configurations. So you can have 2 row like we have here, or you can have 3 rows. And that's why you see that there are some cup holders and storage space in the 3rd row here where that would be. Moving on underneath though, you get a nice little storage spot there. Not a whole lot, but enough to put some stuff. Now, as typical, the 4Runner does come from factory with a roof rack already installed, nice and sturdy, but the real changes are once we get inside. Long gone is the bland, boring, technology-free interior of the 4Runner. We've got it completely redesigned. Now, if it looks familiar to you, it's because it actually takes a lot from the Tacoma. On the door panel itself, we can see there's a lot more contrast and a lot more styling, especially compared to the prior models, which they're typically just all black. So we have this nice blue leather complemented by the nice yellow stitching, and actually a lot of functionality on the door itself. We have a pocket here, another pocket here with 2 water bottle spots, and 1-touch operation for all of our windows, 2 memory seat functions, got it all. Now, the seat itself is also fully powered with 12-way power adjustment, so that's great. You got your lumbar control and everything else right here. But the seat is also completely new for 2025. It's got this nice hexagon pattern on it. It's heated and ventilated. It's got the gold stitching also throughout. And looks much nicer than the old black interior that's just bland and boring. So really liking this. So let's hop in and see how it is. Hopping in, it is a very nice seat. Good and comfortable. I can feel it gripping my torso. The bottom is gripping my hips, so very nice and comfortable. The good TRD steering wheel. I love these steering wheels. On the left-hand side, we've got our multimedia functions. On the right-hand side, we have our driver's assistance functions, so that's great. Nice thickness, good and comfortable. But beyond the steering wheel, we do have a digital gauge cluster. No new size or anything, just digital gauge cluster. Left-hand stalk, very standard, same as the right. To the left of the steering wheel though, we've got our our headlamp brightness, our digital gauge cluster brightness, gas cap release, auto lights, traction control, our power distribution, rear hatch, some auxiliary buttons, which actually for 2025 are now 90 amps instead of 35, so that's awesome as well. And then below the auxiliary buttons, we do have our buttons for our dome, our lights that you would be able to see on the ground, but also the button to drop out our step to get into the vehicle. So that's awesome. Unfortunately, it doesn't come out when you open the door. You have to actually hit the button, which is a little bit weird, but maybe they'll change that and it'll come out automatically. Now to the right of the steering wheel, we do have our push to start button, of course, and then we have a massive 12.3 inch display here, and it is actually touchscreen, way better than the outgoing trims especially. So really looking forward to being able to check this out. Right now it doesn't come on, so we can't, but below there, you do have a volume knob with your power, heating and air controls with your heated and ventilated seats, and then just more heating and air controls. We do have a wireless charger, surprisingly, in the 4Runner, as well as two Type-C USB ports, a nice another little cubby here to the right, our gear selector, very Tacoma inspired especially. And then we've got our electronic parking brake, our auto hold, and then our trailer controls, 360 cameras, and then our different drive mode selectors. Now moving up above the infotainment center, we do have our rear view mirror, which is also digital, and then we've also got home link button controls as well, which is great. And then above there, we've also got a place, of course, a place to store our sunglasses and the controls for our sunroof. Great. Now, also with the infotainment center, we do have Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, which is something that is rather new to the 4Runner lineup. Finally, we are getting updated tech in the 4Runner. Overall, I would say that the front of the cabin, very nice. Loving the direction for the new 4Runner. It does take quite a bit of inspiration though from the Tacoma, so it just feels very familiar, but nice to see that we're finally getting a refresh in the 4Runner. Let's check out the second row and see if anything's new back there. Coming into the rear, we'll see that the door panels are very similar to the front. Again, we've got another water bottle holder on the door panel, and then also another little pocket here, nice little JBL speaker, but the rear seats are also styled just like the front. We've got those hexagon we have the hexagon pattern with the orange stitching again with the blue leather, so no complaints there. Hopping in though, actually, you do have decent amount of headroom, but you've got this weird little bump that seems to come down. It's kind of odd, but it's there. But plenty of headroom otherwise, got about 3 inches of headroom, plenty of knee space as well, about 4 or 5 inches. And in the back, we actually have heated seats, as well as two Type-C USB ports, and again, another 120 volt outlet. We can also flip this down, get a nice cushiony armrest with a couple cup holders. So they are pretty small though. It doesn't look like you're gonna fit a Yeti or anything like that, so that's rather unfortunate. I'd like to see those be a little bit bigger. Well, that about wraps up the 2025 4Runner. Let me know in the comments what you think of it. Is there anything that you wish that it had that it's missing, or do you love the new direction that the 2025 4Runner is going in? Smash up the like, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you in the next video.